Hey everybody! It has been months and months since I made a video, um, which has been kind of hard because of the year and grounding and settling into our new norms. And I'm pregnant, and um, everything kind of just jumbled and it got crazy. And I'm going to try really hard not to say a lot. and or but I really have been feeling inclined to share more. I just made a post about sharing Reiki before I give birth and doing attunements, and and a big thing that I've been struggling with in my healing journey is that I know I'm a healer and I'm also human and I'm healing, and that doesn't mean I'm perfect and that what I say, I'm just saying, I'm doing the work too, and it's hard. And my journey and goal in life is to help others, because I think that helps us understand ourselves as well. And I have a Libra moon, so I tend to feel a lot of other people's feelings, and I am an empath, and I tend to put other people first or take on their feelings, and it's hard to distinguish what's mine and what's theirs. And if I'm basing something out of fear or past emotional trauma or what, it's hard. It's really hard. And crystals have been such a big ally for me in strengthening those parts of my body, not only physically but spiritually and emotionally. And my auric feels to really let go, learn, grow, and so forth. So without trying to make this video too long, because I know long videos can kind of be overwhelming, at least for me too, I wanted to share about some crystal allies. A good friend of mine, Kat Walker, I love her. She did this workshop with Amanda at Locust Lake Farm, I think it was last summer. And she talked about plants as mirrors, which like totally blew my mind. People say that what we see is a vibration of what internally is going on, and I do deeply feel that we only see what we're open to as well. And there's so much to learn and know from our environments. And I think about that a lot when I work with plants, and I'm so grateful for her and her wisdom in that, and so much more. And my biggest allies, although plants are such a big part of my life, are crystals. I deeply feel and have been told that they are my ancestors to a wide degree, and I'm so attracted to them. They're attracted to me. I find them all the time. Things like garnet, jasper, quartz. I love going mining. It's the happiest time of my life. And I wanted to talk a little bit about, this is rhodocrosite, but I'm deeply tied to rhodonite and rhodocrosite, which are very similar in nature. This I got at a craft fair. I guess it was a craft fair. It was like a community fair that my good friend Steph put together at Churchville Nature Center last year. And this woman was selling crystals, and I saw this heart-shaped rhodocrosite, and it's actually from Sparta, New Jersey. You can't mine there anymore, but rhodocrosite is something I do really hold near and dear to my soul. It has helped me a lot in a lot of work, and it's actually a part of, given the crystal cards I have, a part of the reason why I feel like me and my husband kind of were able to come back together. He was living in Colorado, and rhodonite is found there too. Rhodocrosite, which is kind of like a more pinky, this color, crystallized form, where this is still a crystal, but it's more, I don't know how to say, it's almost like granite, like it just has more patterns in it and texture to it, I guess. I wanted to read a little bit about both excerpts in my Book of Stones book that is like my literal Bible, and a theme that I think we all struggle with, and I definitely have been a lot through just my Four Arrows journey and my own journey of getting my power back, is like, you have to get out of your own way. And that's something Nako sings in his songs, and I vibrate with very, very dearly. I tend to take on other people's feelings, thoughts, actions, or past traumas, and I let them get in the way of my power. And I'm so powerful. I have so much to offer to the world, and I want so much to do this, and I'm learning and growing with it. Along with rhodocrosite and rhodonite, there's things like selenite. Selenite is like walking sage. It's a partial salt. It cleanses, it purifies, it charges other crystals. Like, you've got to have it, honestly, in my opinion. It's connected with the moon, the goddess Selene, the goddess of the moon. Quartz, it's one of the most abundant crystals on our planet. It highly amplifies things. So when you're working with healing, it can really amplify all chakras, and it works with all chakras. My girl Garnet, you know how I feel about Garnet. An earth stone, a channel also to our crown, so it's connecting us to the ground, but also opening us up as a channel to really open and receive messages and gifts from the universe. I love Garnet. And fluorite is something I've also spoken about a lot too. It's a heart stone, but also a crown chakra stone, third eye as well. It connects our head and our hearts, and it kind of helps us balance between what's emotional based and what's mental based or fact based. It's like great for test taking or relationships, anything. But I love fluorite. Another one I just want to mention really quick is iolite. I forget what kind of structure. I'm sorry, the lighting's really awful, but iolite is like this indigo stone, and it's just funny when you start paying attention to things that you're interested to, it starts coming at you really quickly. Like when I was working at a crystal shop, I'd never seen this crystal before, and I was like, oh, it'd be really cool to have one, but I wanted it in raw form. And then this woman came in the next day with all this raw iolite, and I was like, she gave me a piece. So, it was such a clear communication with the universe, and I loved it. But I wanted to talk about rhodonite and rhodocrosite today because we are in Leo season, and Leo season is about the heart, and it's also controlled by the sun, which is fire. Rhodonite and rhodocrosite are a fire and water stone, connecting our lower fire chakras with our higher water chakras. So our heart's like right in the middle, right there. It also works with our solar plexus, rhodonite, because it deals with our personal power and our gifts to offer to the universe. So if you have some time today, I'd love to have you stick around and hear some of the excerpts from the Book of Stones. I really can't suggest it enough for learning about crystals, anything from its crystalline structure to its physical, emotional, spiritual based lessons. And these people, Robert Simmons and Naisha Asian, do a great job at explaining it. I'm going to try not to read too much because I don't want this video to be too long, but this is rhodocrosite. It's very crystally, whereas rhodonite, like I showed you, is kind of like more of this marbly, milky structure. Pink is the color expression of love, and virtually all of the pink stones have energies that relate to the central theme. In the case of rhodocrosite, it assists in doing the necessary work of recovering, reliving, and releasing the memories of one's emotional woundings. If there were moments in infancy, childhood, or even past lives in which one experienced physical or emotional violence, severe shaming, or otherwise thrown into a traumatic traumatizing emotional situation, the result can be a fixation of a portion of one's life force energies at that point. I resonate with this so much. In unreasoning panic motivated by the rational or irrational fear that one's survival is threatened, a person may make severe compromises for survival's sake. Inner gifts and talents may be abandoned, which rhodocrosite works heavily on, and rhodonite, and gaining that power back. Repressed and forgotten in an attempt to comply with the immediate demands of the outer situation. In addition to these direct losses, the energy it takes to keep the memories repressed can cause a serious strain on one's vitality. Rhodocrosite works vibrationally to support self-healing in these important areas. In meditation, it can assist one in moving back in time for the recovering and reliving of lost memories. It's kind of like a soul retrieval stone, which is kind of cool. You're asking parts of yourself to come back that are ready to do the work with you. During the meditation or afterwards, rhodocrosite can be used with affirmations or other rituals to release the memory and recover the energies that had been bound in the fixation. Like ruminating about things that have happened in the past and applying it to things that don't really exist or really apply to a certain situation. In some cases, sorry, I get winded really fast. Certain traits or gifts can be remembered and brought back into the realm of the conscious self. Thus, we find that one's gifts, that which made one special and unique, may have been the very targets of the woundings through which one lost touch with them. The healing of these types of wounds may be the most important inner processes in one's life because it allows one to reclaim the self one was born to be. Ooh, that hits hard. Through its vibration of self-love and compassion for one's inner child, rhodocrosite can be a valuable ally in such work. So for me personally, this is something because I have so much childhood trauma, and I felt like I really didn't really understand what my power was until a couple years ago, and some people don't even find that, even later. And it's a really amazing and heartfelt and hard process to go through, as healing as it can be. Healing is not pretty. Rhodocrosite emanates one of the most tender and loving energies of any stone. It soothes the heart and comforts the soul, helping one claim one's rightful powers and be everything one was meant to be. It vibrates to the frequencies of inner peace and self-forgiveness, allowing one to fully blossom. So I love that about that stone, where it's really about like your self-healing and your self-compassion and the emotional body, which I feel like a lot of us tend to turn a blind eye to, because there's so much other things that we have to worry about, like money and housing and food and how, those survival skills, or not skills, but survival mechanisms that we like really need to work hard for in this life. It's a heart healer. It's a bridge between the lower chakras of fire and upper chakras of water, we talked about. Carries the frequency of a courageous heart, so very fitting with the Leo times of courage and self-empowerment. Also like Leo, and speaking of Leo and the heart, like your posture and how you carry yourself in the world, being proud and compassionate of yourself and what you have to offer to the world. I feel like these two are very synonymous. So it really works well with healing the inner child, and I really feel like, self-love in the way of, your self-compassion, or for me as well, like me and my husband, he's my soulmate, and this crystal really resonates with both of us. Rhodonite, on the other hand, which is this guy that I got actually for me and my husband on our wedding day, is a little bit different, but very synonymous still with that emotional heart healing. But it does have a lot more to do with kind of regaining your inner power back, so that you can offer that to the world and to your community, because we get what we give, and that cycle is very beautiful. And it can be really confusing too when things like money or family or things are involved, depending on the situation. For me, it was really hard to accept the fact that when I wanted to give Reiki, it's an energy exchange. So, bartering or whatever could come into play, but we need money too, and money is an energy. And even trying to get people to sign up or do Reiki it can be hard because it's still such like a new process, but I know that it's something that I'm meant to do in this world, and to give. And when I give Reiki, I get it too. And that's the beautiful thing about how over encompassing this healing, universal love healing is, and it's abundant everywhere around us. So the key words for Rhodonite are discovering and developing hidden talents, compassion, love, generosity, and altruism. Again, it's like a fire and a fire element, but also an earth element, which is a little different than rhodocrosite. So it does work well with our root chakra because it's also helping us with what we're born, our purpose, what we're born to do. Sorry with the So like other stones of the pink ray, rhodonite promotes the energy of love. In this case, the love is more outer directed than with the stones such as rhodocrosite. However, rhodonite and rhodocrosite are related in more than color and similarity of name. Both are key tools in recovering of one's inner gifts. While rhodocrosite focuses on remembering the lost pieces, rhodonite takes up the process of using the recovered gifts in one's life for the benefit of the community, which I highly, highly resonate with so much. The outer directed love engendered by rhodonite is one of altruism and generosity, using one's own talents to bring gifts to others. As one sometimes discovers, this path of generosity often offers greater satisfaction to oneself than any amount of receiving what one wants can give. Rhodonite attracts the people and situations best suited for the application of one's unique talents, and in so using them, one can experience the fulfillment of the deep desire to love and be loved. This is Rhodonite's gift, to bring more love into the world by acting as a catalyst for the fulfillment of one's life purpose through the expression of one's hidden gifts. This speaks volumes for me too, personally, just because I feel like, because this is like my soul flame, soulmate stone, I feel like I wasn't really, me personally, I wasn't able to really dive deep into even my emotional trauma or face my talents and true gifts to the world until I was able to be with my husband again, because he was so grounding to me and so loving, and it was so mutual. And that's something that, when you know it, and it helped me our relationship helped me blossom and doing work with this stone as well. Yeah. Oh, it just got a little dark. As one sometimes discovers, this path of generosity often offers greater satisfaction. I already read that. Sorry. In meditation and dream work, rhodonite can enhance the depth, clarity, and meaning of one's inner experiences, making it easier to understand the messages behind the dreams and visions. It can provide a psychic link to the archetypal pattern of personal destiny, helping one to remain on the beam, acting with purpose and persistence toward the fulfillment of one's highest aspirations. Totally! Rhodonite harmonizes with most other heartstones like rose quartz or pink calcite, even swarite garnet, which is a green garnet. Rhodonite aids in perceiving where one's talents lie and in using those talents for the highest good of all. Ooh, I think there's thunder. Encouraging one to expand or perfect one's skills so those skills can be employed to help others. Rhodonite carries the energy of cooperative community. It speaks to us of our responsibility to use our skills to assist the spiritual birth of Earth and each other in these times of transformation. That's all I'm going to read today from this, but an affirmation for both stones, rhodonite and rhodocrosite. are, I call forth my hidden talents and abilities, and I use them lovingly for the benefit of all. And rhodocrosite, with compassion for myself and others, I engage the process healing from my past wounds, and I embrace with joy the recovery of my wholeness. So I hope within the times and being Leo season and everything, everybody is using their allies, their tools. We've got all the tools to do this. We just need to, see, find, listen, be aware, and take the time to actually work with them and ourselves. It's hard to actually have or make time for ourselves with so much crazy stuff going on, but even if it's 5 minutes, 5 seconds, anything, something like I like to do is just like crystal gazing, like looking at something or holding it with both hands and saying an affirmation, a meditation. Even something like me looking at the ground is very grounding to me, literally. So, there's lots of thunder coming. I love it. So yeah, lighting a candle and doing a little ritual, writing something down and burning it, or making tea with your favorite herbs, all these things that are what make you happy. And once we start practicing more of what our power is, and standing up for ourselves a little bit more, and not being afraid to speak up, which is really hard. I have a very hard time doing that. We just gain more power, and that reverberates into the universe. And I hope that everybody is gaining their power back in some way and getting out of their own way, because we're all so unique and we all have so many different gifts to offer and share. And I'm very much a community-oriented person, so Rhodonite really speaks to me on so many levels, personally with my husband and with the community that I feel like I've grown into and built. So thanks for watching. Sorry this is so long, but if you have some time to listen or anything, it might help one person or it might help 5. It doesn't matter, but this video helps me most of all because I haven't really been able to make time or do anything like this because things have been so crazy. So I hope everyone is well today, and happy hump day, and yeah, love you.